Okay, Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. So now let's discuss the last part in chapter 8 transport. Okay, so right now we look at the process of translocation of sucrose or sugar in plant through flourworm. Okay, so on the last video kita dah discuss berkaitan dengan xylem. Okay, so right now kita akan proceed with flourworm. Okay, so first of all, what is the meaning of translocation? So translocation is the transport of organic product of photosynthesis via flourworm. Okay. So first of all, we look at the structure of flourworm first. So untuk flourworm, it has sieve tube member. So ni adalah structure of the sieve tube. So the structure of the sieve tube, it is long cylindrical, maksudnya dia memanjang. And then it will arrange end to end forming long sieve tube. Okay, so structure of the sieve tube ni kalau awak tengok dia adalah panjang. Okay, and it has porous cross wall called sieve plate. Okay, so right here adalah sieve plate in between the sieve tube cell. Okay. And then another one, based on the structure of flourworm, it has companion cell. So dekat sebelah ni kita ada companion cell. So what is the function of companion cell? It will supply ATP. Okay, and it is closely associated with the sieve tube, and it will connected to the sieve tube by plasmodesmata. Okay, so ingatlah based on the structure of flourworm, okay, it has a sieve tube and also companion cell, by which companion cell it can supply the ATP. Okay, so now we look at the process of the translocation. Okay, so kalau untuk proses translocation ni, so actually first kali awak mesti kena tahu dululah based on the diagram. So this is the diagram of the translocation. So first kali awak mesti kena tahu dulu, okay, this structure. So ni adalah sieve tube. Okay, so this is xylem. Okay, and then the upper part here, so ni kita panggil sebagai source cell. So what is source cell? Actually, we refers to the plant organ. Plant organ. Okay, that can undergo photosynthesis. Okay, so since it can undergo photosynthesis, so means that it can produce organic product. So example of the organic product here is sucrose. So what is the example of source? Okay, so apa example of source yang awak boleh bagi? So maksudnya kita refer kepada plant organ that can undergo photosynthesis. So lebih mudahnya adalah leaf lah. Okay, and then dekat bawah sini, okay, so this one adalah sink. So akan ada dua terms yang awak mesti kena tahu based on the process of the translocation. The first adalah source, satu lagi adalah sink cell. So kalau source cell, it is a plant organ that can undergo photosynthesis, for the example leaf. Kalau untuk sink cell, okay, actually this one kita refer kepada plant organ, okay, ataupun a parts of plant, okay, that consume ataupun store, okay, product of photosynthesis. Okay, so what is the example of sink that you can give? Okay, the example is root. Okay, and then based on the process of the translocation, okay, so actually it will relate with the hypothesis that we call as pressure flow hypothesis. Okay, and then based on this process, it can be divided into three phases. The first one kita panggil sebagai flourworm loading. So secara ringkasnya, what is flourworm loading? We refer to the movement of sucrose from source. Okay, so ni adalah source. Okay, so it will involve movement of sucrose from source into the sieve tube. Okay, and then next phase adalah transport in the sieve tube. So what happened? Okay, bulk flow of the sac flourworm due to the hydrostatic pressure gradient in the sieve tube. So nanti kita akan tengok macam mana boleh terbentuknya hydrostatic pressure gradient between the sieve tube near the source and also sieve tube near the sink. Okay, and then the last phase adalah flourworm unloading. So apa tu flourworm unloading? It is refers to the movement of sucrose, okay, from sieve tube into sink. Okay, so secara ringkasnya kita nak tengok dari segi movement of sucrose dalam flourworm loading. Movement sucrose from source into the sieve tube, and then transport in the sieve tube due to the hydrostatic pressure gradient in the sieve tube. So there is a bulk flow of the flourworm sap towards the sink. Okay, and then the last one, flourworm unloading, refers to the movement of sucrose from sieve tube into sink. Okay, so now kita tengok lebih detail. Okay, untuk the first phase adalah floorworm loading. So, sucrose is produced in the source cell. Macam yang saya katakan tadi, source ni maksudnya kita refer kepada a plant organ that can undergo photosynthesis. So, bila dia dah berlaku photosynthesis, okay, so one of the organic product that can be produced adalah sucrose. So, example of source is leaf cell. So, in floorworm loading, so what happened to the sucrose produced? Okay, it is loaded. Loaded ni maksudnya macam dia akan penuhkan. Okay, it's loaded from source cell into sieve tube by active transport. Okay, so tadi kita dah discuss berkaitan dengan companion cell. Okay, so companion cell tu actually dia akan supply ATP. Okay, for the process of the active transport here. So that's why ATP is supplied by the companion cell. So what happened once sucrose is loaded into the sieve tube from source? Okay, so sucrose ni dia adalah solute. So what happened to the water potential in the sieve tube here? It will become low. Okay. And then, so, di sebelah sieve tube ni, ada xylem. So, what happens since water potential in the sieve tube here is low, okay, so apa yang akan berlaku? Water is transported via osmosis from xylem tissue into the sieve tube. So, maksudnya water from the xylem will diffuse into the sieve tube by osmosis. Okay, so the entrance of water here will increase the hydrostatic pressure in the sieve tube. So, bila air daripada xylem, okay, masuk ke dalam sieve tube by osmosis, so it will increase the hydrostatic pressure in the sieve tube here. Okay, so that's why, okay, we proceed to the second phase, which is transport in sieve tube. Okay, so apabila hydrostatic pressure in sieve tube near source is increased, okay, so dia akan create pressure gradient. Maksudnya hydrostatic pressure in sieve tube near the sink is low. Dekat sini hydrostatic pressure tinggi. Tetapi near the sink, hydrostatic pressure is low. So what happened? A pressure gradient between sugar source and sugar sink exists. Maksudnya akan berlaku perbezaan dari segi pressure gradient lah di antara okay, sieve tube near the source and also sieve tube near the sink. So what happened? This hydrostatic pressure will forces okay, the floorworm cell to flow. So that's why awak akan nampak ada berlakunya pergerakan floorworm cell okay, to flow along the sieve tube. Okay, so the last one is floorworm unloading. So when reach at sink, okay, maksudnya bila sucrose ni, okay, dia dah reach sink, okay, dia dah sampai dekat sink. So what happens? Sucrose is unloaded to the sink cell. Maksudnya tadi daripada source, okay, to the sieve tube, sucrose is loaded kan? Okay, sucrose akan masuk dalam sieve tube. Tetapi in floorworm unloading, okay, when the sucrose is already reached, okay, in the sieve tube, near the sink. So what happened to the sucrose? Sucrose is unloaded. Okay, perkataan yang kita guna adalah unloaded to the sink cell. So what happened to the water potential in sieve tube? Okay, since sucrose is already unloaded from sieve tube, okay, into the sink. So what happened? Water potential inside of the sieve tube here will be increased. Okay, so based on concept of osmosis, so what happened to the water in the sieve tube here? So it will move out from the sieve tube to the xylem by osmosis. Okay, so this is the concept of the translocation. Okay, so if you look at here, okay, okay, so kalau kita tengok based on this one, okay, so this is source. Okay, and then what happened during floorworm loading? So sucrose will loaded into the sieve tube. Okay, so what happened? The water potential in the sieve tube will be decreased. So water from xylem will diffuse, okay, into the sieve tube by osmosis. Okay, so what happened? It will increase the hydrostatic pressure, okay, in the sieve tube. Okay, so when there is a pressure gradient between the sieve tube near the source and also sieve tube near the sink here, okay, near the sink. So what happened? Okay, so the sucrose will flow. The pressure will forces, okay, the flower sap to flow to the sink. So dia akan bergerak lah. Okay, so what happened here? Okay, so this is the last one yang kita panggil sebagai flower unloading. So what happened to the sucrose in the sieve tube near the sink? So it will be unloaded, okay, into sink. Okay, so what happened to the water potential in the sieve tube here? It will be increased. So that's why water will move out from sieve tube into the xylem by osmosis. Okay. Okay, so this is the concept of the translocation that you have to take note. So maksudnya awak mesti kena tahulah macam mana cara untuk explain process of the translocation. Okay.